Taking us higher. Step inside, don't be shy tonight. We're connecting hearts live on the mic. Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. Everybody come and let's talk, let's talk. We got stories, let's talk. We got stories, let's talk. Let's talk. Ooh, yeah. Let's talk. Ooh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to The Talk with Tariro. These past weeks, I think we've really tried to be youth focused. Last week we had the African Finder, and this week we've got another exciting young person. We've got Natalie Nachipo, who is I don't know whether to call him a social media influencer. She will tell us who exactly she is. But from our interview last week, we saw how young people are actually redefining business, redefining entrepreneurship. So we have invited Natalie to also share her own journey around using social media to actually build a business. Welcome to The Talk, Natalie.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, you say what? Hi guys, it's me.
Hello guys, it's me, Nat.
That's how you start your business.
Yes.
With the African Finder, it was
What's up, good people?
what's up, good people?
Yeah.
So as they talk, we'll come up with ours. The older version for the older generation. So for those who might not know you, who is Natalie? Who is Nat?
Yes, Nat is Natalie Nachipo, or Natalie who navigates, otherwise known as Nat Navigates. So
Nat navigates.
yes, Nat Navigates. So I am a social media influencer, content creator, as well as marketing consultant and brand strategist. That is what I do. Those are the
Unpack those when you're saying strategies, social media influencer.
yes.
Try and unpack those for us.
Okay, so basically I operate in different roles in different environments, but they all come back together in the form of social media. That's where my strength is. So as an influencer, I work to market other people's brands. So influencer marketing, which is now on the come up in Zim, which is really good. Influencer marketing, someone pays you for a video for you to promote their brand using your personality, your character, and your audience, as well as your community. So that's what we use to turn over sales. And then content creator, I also create content for other businesses. So I won't necessarily be in front of the camera. Hello, guys. It's more behind the scenes. They're making their products. They're in the factory, whatever the case may be. And then brand strategist, I basically bring visions to life. So you tell me your vision. I have this goal by this time. I want to do this. And we come up with an ecosystem of marketing. So not just influencer marketing or brand strategy. We use all of those methods. They come together and we create content, we design graphics, we market, we bring your vision to the next step, so that even if you are in a industry that is oversaturated, which people love to say in this country, we position you to stand out and be at the top of your industry. So that is what I do, basically.
All right. So we hope very soon we'll also engage you to position the talk up there.
100%. I'll be there to help. Yes.
You know, Natalie, when we're looking at social media
Yes.
and you as young people, how you're actually just redefining entrepreneurship. Unpack that for us. You know, how you are actually doing that.
Yes. So I came back. I'll start with a bit of a backstory. So I studied a degree of social work at the University of Cape Town. And when I graduated, I came back with the hope that I would be able to get into social work. And for whatever reason, that didn't necessarily work. But I was presented with an opportunity to be a corporate content creator for Zim Cyber City. So that's where I started. And then I left that job to then work for myself to pursue influencer marketing. And so in regards to redefining business, I think the internet is growing each and every day. And so where we had Google, we now have ChatGPT, we now have AI. Yes. And so those things are growing, but we need to keep up with those methods. The thing that young people are doing right now in redefining business is that we are using the resources at our fingertips. You can build a business right now using AI in a space of 1 hour or 2 hours if you know programming. and you can set up your website and do all of that. So I think the youth, for me, we have just seen that where we have been told hakuna mabasa and all of those things.
Yeah.
We have just decided to create mabasa. If there's anything that I tell my community is, don't sit around and wait for the job, be the job. A business starts by just giving yourself tasks. I need to do this. I need a logo. I need branding. I need this. I need that. So build that and then have audacity.
Yeah.
The youth need to have audacity in order for us to really redefine business. And so I've been able to go out and cold pitch. Yes, come and try for free.
Yeah.
But at the core of it, we are using the resources at our fingertips to make income. And that has social media at the core of it. TikTok is a platform that is growing each and every day, and businesses need to wake up to the power that it has. Influencer marketing is especially popular in Zim right now because you get to see someone talk about something that you want, the human connection. That is where the difference really is. Where before you had newspapers or flyers or posters, even billboards, you now get to see someone that you know, someone that you might bump into in the shop promoting your favorite product. And that is now the new power of marketing. And so I think that's where the youth are kind of trying to bring in their personalities and use authenticity, at least for me.
Yeah.
Authenticity is a big thing. In order for us to promote the businesses that are already there and make them better with newer methods. And so that's what I would say.
Yeah. You know, a lot of young people are actually getting so frustrated. You hear people saying, we are applying, we are sending CVs, there are no responses. But you are saying, be the job.
Be the job.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for a lot of people, there are some who will say, it's easy for you, Nat, because you went to study at UCT. So, yeah, you were exposed to that. I'm doing it somebody, maybe Argumusha. And maybe even to be able to use phone yacho effectively, they don't have those skills. How do I break that?
How do you get to a place where you use what is in front of you? I believe, kana wina your phone, a picture in the phone. That means in a microphone. That's all that you need.
Wow.
I started out with the phone. I began my career as a content creator when I was 16. Just a phone. And I had access to cameras and all of that stuff through my mom's company. But just an iPhone or a Samsung or an iTel. The iPhone. Just get on Google. How do I film quality videos? Watch as many videos as you can. We have information at our fingertips and for free. You don't have to pay for a course much anymore. You don't have to ask someone to teach you. Go on YouTube. Instead of scrolling on TikTok and scrolling on Facebook, find out how to develop your skill. And that's how I would say, even if you're in Kumusha, if you have Google and if you can access TikTok, you have a business to start.
Indeed, Nat is saying, if you have access to the internet, you've got a phone. You have a business that you can actually start. If you remember even last week from the African Finder, that's the same thing that he was speaking about. Find your own niche. And that way you will not talk about, I don't have a job. Join us after this short break.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, let's talk. Ooh, yeah.
Welcome back. We continue with our discussion here on the Talk with Tariro, where we are talking about redefining our employment. Young people are really taking over. And I'm sure for us, the born before computers, if we're not careful, we'll be rendered useless, if I may use that particular word. And even for other young people who actually are saying, sitting at home and saying, I'm waiting for somebody to employ me, you will continue sitting at home. You're hearing from Natalie. You heard even from the African Finder last week. And Nat, you spoke about using AI and how it's actually displacing a lot of people.
Yes.
Maybe share with other young people in terms of how best they can actually utilize that resource to better themselves.
The biggest resource that AI provides is information. When you have information, you have access. Even if you think you can't get into the gate, you can find out who, let's say, for example, I want to work with Schweppes, for example. It takes me going onto an AI platform or even Google. Let's not even go into AI before that. Just look, marketing manager, Schweppes, Zimbabwe. When you go to that gate to pitch your video or your branding or whatever the case may be, you now have a name to say at the gate. So no one is going to say no to you. As from before, you would go in and say, oh, I'm looking for the marketing manager. Do you know their name? No. And now you're out the door. AI within itself is simple information. If you have a degree, you have international relations, for example, go into ChatGPT and say, how do I use my degree? Where are the gaps in my country? Where are the gaps in my industry?
Wow.
So that I can fill them. And then use ChatGPT to give you that strategy on how you fill those gaps. It will tell you, you need to go to this networking event. You need to go to this network where they do business. Marketers Association of Zimbabwe. Go to them and ask them if they have an event. Pitch this, pitch that. It just gives you ideas, because I feel like the hopelessness comes in when you are stuck, when you don't know what to do. That is what I think the youth struggle with. To say, I don't have funding. I don't have this. I don't
And
have that.
that's the most excuse that everybody uses.
That funding excuse. If you follow me on social media, you know I will always tell you, you do not need funding. What you need is faith in God and the resources around you. If you have a phone to text me that you have a problem, you already have a problem.
Wow. If you have a phone, then you've got the resources. The
Text me,
resources are
you
there.
are not using your resources enough. And that's what I would say. AI is just access of information. Where Google used to say you'd have to look through articles and find this and find that. Chat GPT, what is it called? Gemini, Meta, all of those things. They just give you at your fingertips a summary.
Yeah.
And then you have to pick and choose what you use, what you don't use, what you do, what you don't do.
Yeah.
But with artificial intelligence, people are now at a point where they can build more than they have ever. And our country, we still have so many gaps to fill. And that means for the youth, the opportunity is extreme.
There are so many opportunities
So
that
many
have not been
opportunities.
tapped. So for somebody then, because a lot of people struggle in identifying the opportunities. Last week we were talking to the African Finder and we were asking him, did you even identify your niche? Who would think that somebody will survive on going to restaurants and just saying, I'm eating this, I'm eating this.
Yes.
And, there's somebody who can just start something, even going up a mountain.
Yes.
You can come up with something like that. There's somebody who can just, look at people poppers, how they actually just...
Exactly. Just from extracting acne, literally.
Yeah. So how does one identify a niche? Maybe let's start there.
Okay, so I have a slightly different approach to my work.
Yeah.
I am my niche. And so if there is a car wash that wants to work with me, I can promote it because I know my audience will trust me, right? And so I can work with a lot of people. But to help someone find their niche, because I do help my other creators find their niches, think to yourself, what do I stand for? What do I enjoy doing? Where can my authenticity show the most? So where you are yourself the most. I am my own niche because I know my mouth is my money maker. I can convince people, I can make people laugh, I can connect with people. And so I know that's where my money maker is. Find out. If you like tennis, there's not a lot of people doing tennis content. If you are consistent with your tennis training, teaching people how to play tennis on the phone, you will get a brand deal from Dunlop tennis balls. Adidas can work with you, tracksuits. Nike can work with you. There is, just find what you like to do. If it's Christianity, you want to talk about the Bible, you will work with Christian communities. They will build you. If you like food, African Finder is an example. We've seen what food can do. Yes. If you like whatever it is, swimming, sports, even farming. We don't have a lot of people showing us what farming actually looks like for the youth on a day-to-day basis. Show us what farming can do. And then when you now are looking for vendors, you have something to pitch to them. Hi, I have a platform. I can promote your sprinklers. It will give me 25% discount and I'll get you visibility. And that's how you can manage to bring income into your niche be your personality or the things that you enjoy doing, where you show up the most real.
You know, as you were speaking, I'm also seeing an opportunity where I'm saying somebody can even create, like you spoke about farming. You can create a platform where farmers can come and sell within that. And it becomes your
100%.
so the opportunities are just there, and there are so many.
They are waiting for us to grab at them.
And my next question was to then say, what of those who use excuses to say, it's not all of us who can then just be using technology or using AI?
I would ask you why. What's stopping you? Yes. Internet cafe until $2 for an hour. Kwashaiwa 1 hour yako yokunochaga research. If you feel like you can't, I have to then speak to you, the person, and say, what is it within you that does not want to grow? And that's what I would prevent you. To say, what is it that is stopping you from wanting to grow?
But people will be saying, oh, we can't all be influencers.
No,
Do I need to be an influencer to be able to use AI, to be able to utilize social media in a profitable way, in terms of just redefining entrepreneurship, just assist young people on that? Yeah.
No, you do not need to be an influencer. While I believe that all of us can be influencers because we all have something to offer, I understand that visibility is not for everyone. And so what you do is you build a platform. Faceless. Build a business. And then you use marketing educated by AI to then give you how to build we call it a cult community, with like, if you release a top, let's say you're selling clothes, if you release a top, everyone's going to want to buy it. Everyone's going to want to buy it because you've built that community. What we now do is, if you don't want to be an influencer, you need to learn what is called storytelling.
Okay, that's a storytelling. If you do not want to be an influencer, learn storytelling. We'll continue with that thread soon after this short break.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, let's talk. Ooh, yeah.
Our discussion with Natalie Nachipo continues here on the Talk with Tariro. So Nat, you were really giving us tips in terms of, even if you don't want to be an influencer, there's something that you can do. You were talking about how one can actually be a storyteller.
Yes. If you are a storyteller, you do not have to show your face in the work that you do. You can go in whatever platform you're building. The storytelling is how you market that platform. And so if you do not want to be in front of the camera, find pioneers. Find young people who are passionate about what you are doing. They will be your visibility. So now you've built a business and people get to follow your business because of what it stands for, what the vision is, what the goal is. Storytelling is basically bringing your community into the creation of your product, the creation of your business, the creation, or just the systems. If the business is already built, you still can do storytelling. All you need to do is to create content that allows people to feel like they are a part of your business. And so when they buy from you, they are buying from something that they too are passionate about. And that is the secret with marketing in this 2026 season. I would say you do not have to be an influencer. The work that I do, I don't even talk about it as an influencer. It's more just, I know that I can bring more clients to myself because I'm an influencer. But if I wasn't, I would still have that storytelling strategy to my clients to say, we need people to see faces. We need people to see people, not just to say, come and buy cooking oil. They need to see where the cooking oil comes from. The farmers, we need to talk about them. When we're in the factory, the workers, we need to talk about them and things like that. Storytelling just allows us to build a passionate community and you have a client base.
So for those who would want to maybe be a mini Nat with their own authentic self, but wanting to grow, maybe to start even an audience. I'm not yet on TikTok. I'm there, got 100 followers. How does one grow followers where you have organic followers and not the ones that one buys?
The first thing I would say to you is be patient. It takes time, but when you find that audience that now sticks, it will stick. It needs patience, it needs authenticity, and it needs faith Because if you do not have faith in God, you are going to follow the systems that other people will do, where you want to be famous for the wrong reasons. You want to hang out with the wrong people for the sake of gaining those followers. So what I can say to you is, know yourself and know who God says you are, because that is where your following is.
There are some who talk about how controversy sells.
Yes.
And when they want to build their names, they need to be involved in Kamaka scandal. So for their name to actually start trending, and then from there they build their brand out of it. And then we've got other young people who are actually just known for being notorious for vulgar things on social media. Like now you can't just open social media and scroll. You just hear someone saying
You have to put the volume down.
Exactly. There was one time when I was just scrolling and somebody just said things. And you know, when you are trying to even close, you
I never know.
yeah, close your because people are just saying all sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Responsible social media use
Yes.
amongst young people.
That is a course that I would like to build, especially for school children, that the teens. Internet safety is a big thing. And that's why I said just now, if you know who God says you are, you will not step out of certain systems in order for you to get to that goal. And so if you find yourself looking for a scandal, you will come to see that that video can go viral. And you can gain 1,000 followers today, but tomorrow those 1,000 followers are gone because the scandal is over. The problem is we chase trends too much. Stop chasing trends. Your moment to shine will come. If you can clap for other people in their moments where they are being clapped for, I can guarantee you your time is going to come. Stay clean. Stay clean. Say your opinion. Like me, I feel like people have this belief that I'm a little bit controversial because I speak frankly.
Yeah.
There are standards that I've seen that are not here, and if they're not here, I'm going to say they're not here. But then people might take that as controversy. But if you listen to me, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being vulgar. I'm not doing anything like that. And that is because I am trying for my audience to understand that we need to change certain systems within our industry already. And so if you are going to look for scandal, you will come to understand that fame does not pay the bills.
Yes.
Sustainability is what will pay the bills.
Yeah.
And brands coming to work with you because you're a clean brand is what will get you famous. Because now we're seeing Natalie's working there. Natalie's working there. Natalie are to pusher. And it's because she's keeping a clean brand.
Yeah.
If I come here and I say this vulgar word and that vulgar word and that vulgar word, and so while people might think this big blog page on Instagram is the place for you to become famous, they don't have your back.
Yeah.
Your back is in these brands that want to work with you. So keep a clean brand. Know who you are and know what you're standing for. Because that is what will keep you. That is what will make you famous. Even if it takes 3 years, at least you'll have clean fame.
Yeah. So there are some who have already had scandals. How does one clean their brand? You are a brand strategist.
Okay.
How does one clean their brand?
Depending on the level of scandal, right? And depending on the context of the scandal. I can use myself as an example. I was on a podcast where I said that in Zimbabwe, we do not have actual influencers. Our industry is saturated with skit actors. Yeah. I will stand on that statement to this day. To this day, I will stand on that statement. But how did I clean up my scandal? Yes. The audience was mixed.
Yeah.
Some people were saying, finally someone has said it. And other people were saying, why is she saying that? Who is she? What did I do? I stayed myself and I stood on it. To a point where after a year, something happened and people then saw the importance of a difference between skit actor and influencer, right?
Wow.
While I won't get into that because of controversy or whatever,
Exactly.
I will say, give it time. If you feel like things have been scandalous, people are bashing you, people are saying all of this stuff, go quiet. Rework your messaging. What are my pillars? What do I stand for? What am I doing? I then decided I'm going to stand on the fact that I'm going to teach people that influencing is possible in this country according to influencer marketing standards. And that is now my pillar. Authenticity, self-awareness, that is all things Nat navigates. Yeah. And that is how I managed to clean up my scandal and use it to my benefit because people then know me. And when I want to teach you, you guys are going to want to learn from me. And so when you have a scandal, go quiet a little bit, rework your messaging. Yeah. PR training. Know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Delivery. And then come back and stand on it. Don't be shy. Usavaridziru, usangararidzwe, because the internet is full of bullies. Be yourself. They'll understand you at some point.
What is your parting shot?
Hey. Okay. Number one, I will always say, kana usinga ndifarire diita namba zangu. But if you are watching this and you are similar in age to me, I'm 25. I need you to understand that where people are telling you that Zimbabwe has no opportunity for you, there is everything for you. It only takes God, knowing yourself and understanding your values and using the resources around you, and the rest is history.
Indeed, the rest becomes our history. As they talk with Tariro, we are saying, like what Nat says, let's try and utilize the resources that are available to us. It's not time to make excuses. Until next week, it's goodbye.
We got stories, let's talk, let's talk. Ooh, we got stories, let's talk.
Morning light and the camera's rolling. People smiling, conversations flowing.
From the city streets to the worldwide